Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Typically, number 13 is considered lucky, but this is an unlucky day for the people of New York State. 13 times this body could have voted to reform the way we do business. 13 times the majority said no. We heard about supposed technical problems with some of these resolutions. That's interesting because the SAFE Act was riddled with technical problems, but you had no problem jamming that down the throats of New Yorkers, and we're living with those problems today. There are no technical problems with these resolutions that couldn't be very, very easily solved, if indeed there are any to begin with. We heard an absolutely twisted and agonizing definition of what the majority means. The majority means the greater number. That's it. That's all. The greater number. All of us are elected by our constituents to come here and be their voice. So I invite all of you to go home to your constituents this weekend and you tell them how you stood in the way of reform, given the fact that 2 out of the 3 amigos are awaiting sentencing. You go home and tell them that you said no to 13 reforms that made perfect sense only because you had the numbers and because you could. I don't think that they're going to think that you are representing their best interests, because I can guarantee you they want term limits. They want term limits on leadership. They want hearings. They want to see what's going on inside this chamber. They want to open up the process. They want sunlight and sunshine, and you said no. So good luck going home to face them at their pancake breakfast this weekend. I think you're going to get an earful, and I hope you do. This is absolutely a bad and sad day for the people of New York. 8 years is good enough for the president of either party, for president of the United States. But let's give a speaker that's awaiting sentencing. He was about to turn 20 years, I think, in this House. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You turned a blind eye to reform, so please don't go home and say that you're fighting for reform. You had the opportunity to do it. You turned your back on the process. You turned your back on your constituents. It's a sad day. These resolutions should have been passed. And now we get to go forward tomorrow to a State of the State and listen to a governor who's been under federal investigation lecture all of us about ethics. That's going to be pretty interesting. Now he has a leg to stand on because you just turned down 13 common sense reforms. Shameful day here in this chamber.